Oh, hey. Hey, this is a new series from...
Shane.
Huh?
You got
Oh.
some.
Oh. I got a little... I was snacking a little bit earlier, so it's not really cocaine. It's just donuts. Hey, here's your favorite comedian, Shane Harges, and I'm here with a new video series called Comedian in the Kitchen. And today, we're going to be preparing a 4-pound elk roast. So here we go. Let's get started. All right. We have our fully thawed 4-pound elk roast shoulder. It's going to be tasty. So I'm using a recipe that I found from Steve Ranella. He does that series Meat Eater. And another thing, if you're vegan, vegetarian, veganarian watching this, look, I don't want to hear your bullshit about let's not eat animals, let's all eat plants. Okay? Because I like beef, I like elk, chicken, salmon, all that. So, Meat Eater website found a recipe for an elk roast because I've never done one before. So we're going to give it a shot. First thing we did, we started preheating our oven at 300 degrees. There's a siren, but it's not coming here. I don't think so. I swear it's not cocaine, people. It was just dust from donuts. Calling 911 on me. Oven's preheated. We got to heat up our Dutch oven over about medium-high heat. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil to the bottom of that because we got to sear all sides of our elk roast. So we're going to drop a little bit of oil in there. And then we got to put our rub, our seasoning, which is very simple on this one. You could probably use whatever you want to, but we're keeping it simple because we really like the flavor that the elk meat has by itself. So there's a little bit of kosher salt. I can't talk. Kosher salt. A little bit of coarse black pepper. That's all we're going to use. All right, we got our elk roast out on a pan. Sometimes, especially game meat, has what they call silver skin on it. And most of that was trimmed off, but I trimmed off just a little bit more that was left on there. Mixed up some of our just salt and pepper mix. And when I rub meat, I like to use protection. So we're going to rub our elk roast with our salt and pepper mix. That will give the oil and our Dutch oven heating up. Medium-high heat on the stove, time to get up to temp. And then we're going to sear all this. And we just want to put a pretty liberal amount of our salt and pepper rub on the roast, and then we'll rub it in, try to get all sides. Smells pretty good just for salt and pepper. All right, that's done. Nice and warm down there. Now let's do some searing. You can try to go about 5 minutes aside. All right, we got our elk roast browned. Now we're going to put in some garlic. I did about 6 cloves and a little bit of onion into our Dutch oven with some beef broth to help loosen up those bits that are kind of stuck to the bottom. It's going to add a little bit more flavor for us. We use it's like a roasted beef base instead of like bouillon cubes or broth in a carton or whatever, and that stuff is really good. You can make it as potent as you want. And I would recommend a wooden spoon to kind of help break up everything in the bottom of the Dutch oven. We're going to let them simmer in there quite a bit till they start to brown up a little, get a little translucent in color. And then when that's done, we're going to add some carrots. We're going to add some potatoes. We're going to add our roast in there, of course, duh. And then we're going to add enough broth to cover about 3/4 of the roast. And it's going to go in, actually, you know what, I take that back. We're not going to go carrots and potatoes just yet. Once this is done, we're going to put our roast in 3/4 of a way up with broth. We're going to let that cook for about 2 hours. After 2 hours, that's when we're going to add in carrots and potatoes for about the last 20 to 30 minutes. And then we'll check to see if those vegetables are tender and that the elk roast is basically pulling apart very easily with a fork. And then we're going to be just about done. It doesn't take very long. And hopefully it all turns out deliciously. So we'll be back in just a few. All right, this is all cooked up for us nice. It's got a good aromatic smell to it. Smells good. So we're ready to put our roast in. And then our beef broth. And we're going to cover about 3/4 of a way up on the roast. I'm thinking that's probably good. Maybe a smudge more. There we go. And now we got to bring that to a boil. So that's going to boil up for us. At that point, we throw our lid on, and in the oven we go. Put it in the sauna for about 2 hours. Okay, our liquid's boiling. This bad boy is ready to go in the sauna, but before we do that, did y'all see the lights flicker? That's weird. We're going to put in a little bit of thyme and a little bit of rosemary. And we're just going to lay it right on top. What do you think? Maybe 2 or 3 sprigs each. Throw those in there. We'll go 2. They're fairly big. Put them in there, make it look pretty. Okay? It's all about presentation too. That's why it takes me so long to get ready. I'm worried about my presentation. tell me you wouldn't become a meat eater. If you're still watching and you're vegan, vegetarian, veganarian, you'd want to eat that. Really? You would, right? No? Whatever. Again, don't tell me about them plant-based diets. Don't care. I'm all about little white donuts and elk meat. So, we're going to go in the oven. And then we'll start our 2-hour timer. Remember, check on the liquid in this thing. You want to keep it at about 3/4 in that roast. Make sure to keep that level. Also, if the top starts drying out on that roast, take it out, flip it over, let that dry side get a little liquid, get a little liquid bath, little bubble bath, little jet spa bath, some bath salts. We put salt in there. You know what I'm talking about. We'll be back in a little bit. All right, so it's been about 2 hours. I did check it about every 30 minutes. I did have to add a little bit more broth after the first 30 minutes it cooked. When I checked it after that, it kept that level of liquid in there pretty consistently. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out and let's all take a peek. Be jealous. Be very, very jealous. So what we're going to do now, the top looks like it's still staying pretty moist. I said moist. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our potatoes and onion. So we're going to do that real quick. See if I can not make a mess with this. Let these things get a bath. We got carrots, potatoes. Oops. That one might be for the dogs. Do we want to add any more onion to it? Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to save all this. Have our onion. Mix that in here. And then we'll add the rest of this. Throw that lid back on. It's hot. Make sure to wear protection in the kitchen. We'll cut that out. Put the lid back on. Let's go back in. We'll do it for about another 30 minutes. And then we'll check it out. See if everything's getting nice and tender. So, want to thank my wife Casey for working the little video camera and the tripod, giving me ideas, making fun of me while I'm doing this. So thank you very much for helping out. We'll be back soon. So let's check it out now.
Wow. Yeah, that one I couldn't go do the market. So I did the other ones. I couldn't do her though.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pull the elk out. I'll get it carved up. And I'll throw an image in this video to let you guys take a look at it. And there we have it. Getting it all carved up.
The only thing they told us was,
And it is delicious.
and elk.
Whoa.